What is up, guys? We are doing a get ready with me and my 5-star reads of 2024. I was gonna do a 2024 wrap up, and then I just decided that it was too much work. Here we are, and yes, I am just breaking out. This is old. This is going away. This is here. This appeared today. The world is stressful. I'm a stressed out lady. I don't know what's happening. So currently I just have lotion on my face, and then I have my e.l.f. Power Grip primer on. Obviously it's like almost out. I did buy a new e.l.f. primer that I'm going to use sometime this week, probably once I'm literally out of this, because like there's still a little bit left, obviously, so I will be using it until it's out. I read like 140 books last year, and out of those 16 of them I believe were 5-star reads. If I got that wrong, I will put it somewhere on the screen. These are not going to be in order of how I read them because they're currently out of order on my laptop that's behind me. I figure we will start off strong, and by strong I mean we're going to talk about Sarah Blue, as I always do, because no one is shocked by this. Four of these books are by Sarah Blue that are 5-star reads. So we'll go with the first one that I read from her this year. Last year, not this year, last year. What is wrong with me? I also fully use eyeshadow for my eyebrows. I don't know what you want from me. This is also old, so that's where we're at. So the first one is Puck Around and Find Out by Sarah Blue. It is the third book in her Hockey Omegaverse series, and the last. It was just so good. Like, that whole series is so good, and obviously if you follow me elsewhere, you know I've talked about it 6,000 times. I literally have a whole video about Sarah, and that series is in it. But when I made that video, this book wasn't out yet. So yeah, the book was just absolutely wonderful. Everything you'd want in an Omegaverse, and like just in a Sarah Blue book, honestly. But yeah, it was a good ending to this little trilogy. Like, it is like an interconnected standalone. You could absolutely read these as standalones. I mean, I necessarily don't recommend it just because honestly all three of them are good. And you get like the cute interactions of the next couple meeting normally in the book. Yeah, so this Sarah Blue book, so good. I love paranormal romances, y'all. I grew up on Vampire Diaries, Teen Wolf, Supernatural, like, you name it, I've probably watched it. Like Buffy, all those things. So she came out with The Marriage Hex, which is a witch and a wolf shifter situation. It's also, like, y'all know I'm not a big second chance romance with this, so this like draws like it's close to the line of second chance, because they were like besties in essentially like high school, and then she gets like taken away and they never see each other again until they're adults. And it's just so good. It's like truly so good for spooky season, because this came out in October, I believe, and it was just everything you want in a cutesy, spicy, it's very spicy, like paranormal romance. Like, it's got all the paranormal things. Sarah also has a very, like, her humor in her books is so good. Like, I am constantly cackling out loud at all of her books. If she ever writes a sad book, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The Marriage Hex is so good if you like paranormal romance, if you like werewolves, wolf shifters, witches, vampire. There's other paranormal creatures in this book, and this is going to be a series, and I'm so excited because this was probably my favorite book of hers thus far in her writing. I've literally read all of her books, and I like, so good. I cannot express it. Like, this was, out of my 5-star reads, this was one of my favorites. Like, top 3, honestly, top two. Okay, for the last 2 Sarah Blue books, they're in the same series. So she started writing this cute little, like, Cupid series where there's Cupids, there's Grim Reapers, there's all this stuff, and they're all novellas. And we love a novella over here. We all know I love a novella. Okay, sounds good. Used this Milani eyeshadow primer. This I got in like an Ipsy box forever ago. It works. It does its job. I fully use Scotch tape and scissors to get like a crease and a line. So I don't know what she wants from me. So there's four novellas in this series, and they all have to do with holidays, obviously. So the first one, say hello to Cleo, is Valentine's Day, and then there's St. Patrick's Day, Father's Day, and then the most recent one was Christmas. Okay. Whatever you say, Cleo. What? Cleo. What? Sounds good to me. Out of those four in the series, 2 of them were 5-star reads for me, which one of them is Daddy Cupid, which is for Father's Day. No one's shocked if you see what I read. Loved this. An MMF one, and it's so good. So it's between two Cupids and a Reaper, and so good. Gloom is the Reaper, and he was easily my favorite character of the series. I loved him so much. Like, I can't express how much I loved this character. He's great. He's hilarious. He is like the comedic, like his comedic timing is so good with everything, and I love him so much. And then the second one is Jolly Cupid. Again, no one should be surprised. We have Krampus. No one is surprised. So yeah, Sarah Blue wrote Krampus, and she didn't do it for me, but she did it for me because, like, it was so good, guys. It was so good. I just can't get over it. And this was another MMF one because it's between a Cupid, the Head Reaper, and then Krampus, and so good. I could not recommend that little novella series more. It's so cute and fun and spicy. Duh. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Oh god. Okay. And then another 5-star read, which was a new to me author. I've been following her on TikTok when a video of a different book went viral, and then she just came out with this one, written by a woman, by Andrea Anderson. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So the premise is the FMC works at this kind of like a startup company, but it's very chill vibes. But she wants to be an author. So she has been writing essentially a original work on this website. In my mind, it's AO3, something of that type. So writing this story, and people are eating it up. The girlies love it. So it's getting kind of big. So she finally decides to release like what her face looks like, whatever. She does have a manager, publicist, whatever. She's getting into the story so that she can like actually like publish it, obviously. But she decides to finally like reveal her face. So she reveals her face, whatever. She does it at work, like after hours, I'm pretty sure. But the MMC in her book, that's based off of, not technically her boss, but he is higher than her, but he is not her direct boss. That is who it's based off of. And I love it. But of course, when she goes live, like essentially on like her Instagram or something, to like show her face, whatever. Oh, who walks in? Her not boss, MMC, that she has based it off of, who she obviously has a crush on. So it's so good and so silly, and it's so funny because the MMC, he finds out that she's writing this from his sisters, and is like, oh my god, did you know she was writing this, whatever. And most people, you're like, oh, that would be super weird, like someone's writing essentially like fan fiction about me. Stoked, because he has had a crush on this girl forever, since she started, and now he's like, oh, I have an in. Perfect. So then he starts to get to know her, starts to like talk to her more, because he always stays away from her because he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna say something stupid and I'm gonna tell her I'm in love with her. So he starts to befriend her, whatever. There's a fuck it moment, and it's so good. Oh my god. This was so fun and cute and had the right amount of spice, and This was like for the book girlies. Truly, like, this is one of those books that is for the book girlies. I don't know if I can talk and do eyeliner. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Alright, the next 5-star book is This Blood is Life by Ariella Isabella, and it is a vampire novella. It does end on a cliffhanger, but it's the start to a series, which I kind of love that it started with a novella. I almost feel like more series should start with like a good novella, like almost like, I guess, a prequel, just to see like, hey, is this my vibe? Is it like, and I'm now scratching at my enclosure for her to continue the series, because like, I love vampires. Like, I was a Twilight girly. Twilight, Vampire Diaries, Buffy, like, that was my shit. That was my shit. I would recommend reading this. She has some other novellas out as well that are starts to series that I haven't read yet, but yeah. I also met her at Books, Gowns, and Crowns, and she was absolutely lovely, so I cannot wait to see what else she writes. Another good one that I read this year, which is a news to me author, is Karina Hale, or Karina Halley. I have no idea how to say her last name. Oh, fuck me. I love spooky season. I love spooky stuff. She has a duet, like a Sleepy Hollow duet that's like spooky. I've only read the first one because I'm slacking, but it was so good, so spooky. Like, if you're a spooky season girly person, would recommend. I'm obsessed and I need to finish the second book, or at least start it. But it was so good, like, so spooky, so intriguing and interesting, and like the magical system, it's also, the magical system's kind of like, you're learning because there's like secrets, obviously, and this one is also MMF. Shocker, no one is shocked. I love that shit. But yeah, it's so good. Like, just spooky extraordinaire vibes, but also like a little, like, very good Halloween-y, like, I don't want to say scary, but there are definitely, like, read the triggers, like, it's a little bit violent, so yeah, it's not like cutesy fun time like The Marriage Hex. It's definitely not that. Way opposite spectrum. Still spooky vibes, but like scarier. Still spicy though. Okay, so I just used the Wet n Wild Mega Liner for my eyeliner. This is actually my backup. I normally use the NYX eyeliner, but I ran out. So now we all know I love Omegaverse, so no one will be shocked by this, but Eliana Lee came out with a book called A Pack for Winter, which is the second book in this series, but also by Amelia Emerson, I believe is her last name. And hers was A Pack for Autumn. I haven't read that yet, but I need to. I need to read her books in general, because she also writes Omegaverse, and I've heard they're very good. Anywho, Eliana Lee came out with A Pack for Winter. Oh my god, you guys, this was so sweet and cozy and so good. So good. The FMC is a people pleaser, so we love when the people pleaser finds men that will do things for her to help her and stop and learn how to say no to people and stop taking on projects that she doesn't need to take on. But she is an elementary school teacher. One of the guys she's known forever, but they've never like really interacted, so it's so cute and so precious, and I love them. And if you like Omegaverse, you need to start reading Eliana Lee in general. Her other 3 books are so good. So good. So good. I need you to start reading her because she's amazing. Now this one, I know some of you are going to be like, wow, Cecilia, you're really late to this train. I know. If it makes you feel any better, actually it won't, but if it give you more fire to make fun of me for, I read this duet 8 months apart from the first to the second one. Why? I don't know. That's just how I read it, because I'm crazy. Anywho, The Losers Duet by Harley Laurel. Yeah. I read the first one and then waited 8 months until I read the second one. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you why. I just like all of a sudden was like, I'm gonna read all these other books first. I don't know. Anywho, so good. I know you all know that it's good. I don't need to like hype this series up. I know you've all read it. I have received so much grief from all my friends for me taking so long to read this, because everyone's like, this is literally the perfect series for you. Like, it's poly, it's good. It's like a little dark, because I don't go like full dark romance. My friend Liz is always like, you like soft dark. Like, It's almost like charcoal, not quite black, but like charcoal, like shady. Yeah, I finally read the series and it's very good. So if you haven't read it, like me, and you're late to the losers train, I would read it. Yes, I know that they're long. So worth it. So worth it. On a different side of the spectrum, Miss Morgan Elizabeth. No one is shocked by me loving Morgan. Love her books. They're just so fun, cutesy. Morgan's thing is no third act breakups. So like it's like you're guaranteed no third act breakup, which is like so lovely, because sometimes the third act breakup is just like gives me anxiety, and I'm like, I don't want this. So she came out with Passenger Princess, which is a bodyguard trope. Oh, I love a bodyguard trope. And the one thing I do love about the FMC in this is that she is a girl's girl, and she's a girly girl, which she loves pink. She likes to do her makeup, she likes to do her hair, the heels, the outfits. Like, it's so nice and refreshing, because there are so many books where the girls are like, oh, I just look so good without makeup. Good for fucking you, bitch. Some of us just enjoy makeup. Maybe I look good without makeup when, you know, I'm not breaking out. But like, I like makeup. I like to put on makeup. I like to do my hair. So it was very refreshing to have an FMC that liked to get dolled up all the time. And she's also a like a pageant queen, which is why she needs the bodyguard, etc. And it's just so good. And again, with the no third act breakup with Morgan Elizabeth, you also are guaranteed some good ass spice. Good ass spice in this one. A lot of my favorite little things to read. So good. So good. Okay, so this one was actually my first 5-star read of the year, and it is Garen Park by Nordica Knight. I don't read a lot of MM books, like just MM. I read a lot of MMF, and like, I read a lot of poly books, obviously, clearly, which I've talked about multiple already. But this, oh my god, hello? Jesus, open. So Garen Park is an MM book, and it's like trailer park. They do like dirt bike racing, and these guys, like, I never like to say in contemporary romance that like enemies to lovers, because it's like, for me, enemies to lovers is definitely like, oh, I'm trying to kill you, like in fantasy books, and like mortal enemies and like things like that. But this one, like, they're enemies, like they fucking hate each other, like absolutely loathe each other. Like, I can say this is enemies to lovers, and it's so good. Oh, it was so good. Like, this, I was like dumbfounded after. I was like, holy shit, how have I not read this book? Because this like book hadn't come out, like, not old from when I'd read it last year, but like I was like, oh my god, this was so good. And there are 2 more books in this series. There's like a part 2, and then the third book is about their brothers, which is so funny. Haven't read those, but I've heard they're very good from my friend. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. If you like MM, I would really recommend this book. Or if you're thinking to get into MM, I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily a good first book, because it is a little on the darker side. But I really enjoyed this. Like, I was like sped through this because I could not put it down. It was so good. Like, I was screaming in voice messages to my friend that we were buddy reading it. And I was like, holy shit, this is so good. This is so good. Another book I know you guys have seen me talk about 600,000 bajillion times, and I'm never gonna fucking shut up about it. I'm never going to shut up about it. I won't, because I love this book so much. On the Line by Naomi Loud. Nobody's surprised that this is a 5-star read and that I would be talking about it in this video, okay? I talk about it constantly. Don't even know what it is about this book, but Naomi put crack in this. Like, this book has crack in it. Something, I don't know, because God, it was just so good. And this is my first book I've read by them as well. They have a whole nother series that I need to read. I'm just, so many books, so little time, guys. We all know. It was just so good. It's about a server and a line cook. The FMC is kind of like an like rich girl. She is going to college, but she doesn't want to major in what her parents want her to major in. She wants to do art. So they're like, all right, well then you can fucking pay for it then. And she's like, okay. So she moves out, sells her car, gets a job as a server to, you know, pay for college, pay for what have you, whatever. She also sells a lot of her, like, her Ritz stuff. She also sells a lot of her stuff to pay for things. So she meets Ozzy, who is, oh my god, just a little slutty line cook. We love Ozzy. We love him. I would die for that man. I would also kill for him as well. Like, oh my god. We love Ozzy. We love him. But, and James, which is the FMC. God, she's so great too. Like, they're both just like, they have flaws. Obviously, I was about to say no flaws, but like, they have flaws, but like, also no flaws. They're perfect. They are perfect. But yeah, like, they're just kind of fucked up people that just like come together and figure their shit out. It's very like realistic, which I enjoyed. So yeah, I would recommend, like, again, I'm telling you, Naomi put crack in this book. I have no words other than there's crack in this book. So it's got the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer, and I also have the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation and the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I love e.l.f. Sponsor me. Just kidding. So the next book is Rules of Our Own by Jay Wilder. Oh, another poly relationship I love. It's MMF. It's also hockey. We all know I do love a good sports romance, and obviously hockey there's an abundance of hockey books out there. I'm not kidding when I was like screaming about this book after I read it, because I was like instant 5 stars. Like, I couldn't find anything I didn't like about this book, even like I don't know about like this nickname or anything. Oh, like, I'm not kidding. Like, 6 stars. Honestly, like, this was probably like a 6-star read for me. Like, I could not get over how much I loved this book, how much I loved Jess's writing. No notes. Could not recommend this more. This is actually the third in this, like, a series. It's like standalone, intertwined standalone type of thing, which I love, starting books like that in the middle so I can see if they really are standalones. And I fully, like I said, this was like a 6-star read, honestly. So I definitely want to read her other books, but obviously we all know that I love a good poly situation. So the other ones are just like MF books. They're also hockey as well. Definitely recommend this book if you are into poly and sports romance and other things. Again, I really enjoyed this. Like, really enjoyed this one. Alright, so this is another, I was on a novella kick of like Christmas stuff during December. Seasons Hatings by J.S. Jasper. I have been wanting to read her stuff. And then I found out that she had a novella, and I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I can start with that. So good. You guys, this was so precious and cute and Christmassy. It's 2 single parents. And their kids get in a, like, kind of like almost like, I don't want to say a bullying situation, but they think it's a bullying situation at school. Obviously, it turns out that was not the situation, because they were really confused, because as far as they knew, like, their kids were besties. So then the parents have to work together as like so that their kids don't get kicked out of school, whatever. And it's just so precious and cute and like absolutely obsessed. Like, the Christmas vibes were there. No notes again. Like, this was so precious and cute and Christmassy, and yeah. Another Christmassy one from an author I've been wanting to read, and I found out they had novellas, so I was like, let's try this out. Is Bouquets and Buckles by Elliot Rose. I'm sure a lot of you have been reading this author, because I have been seeing her books everywhere. But I found this and I was like, oh, perfect. It's Christmassy. It's a novella. I can get a feel for her writing, and see if like her books are something I'd want to read. I'm pretty sure they still are. Oh my God, you guys, when I tell you 5 stars, 5, honestly, 6 fucking chili peppers. Holy Toledo. So it is, so she gets like, not like, words. So she's trying to surprise her boyfriend. Turns out he's cheating on her. Trash. Goes to call her bestie to like pick her up. Turns out she accidentally called her bestie's dad, who she's always had a crush on, you know. We love a DILF. So he ends up coming to get her, whatever. He also has had a crush on her, not forever, but since she had come home for a Christmas when she was like 22 or something, and he was like, oh, this is not good. Like, it's not creepy, but y'all know I love a good taboo anyways. Give me a step sibling any day. So they end up staying at his house. She forgets that her friend is actually not staying there for the holidays and staying with his boyfriend, boyfriend, I don't know. So, and like, this is like her second home anyway, so she's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. But it all comes to a head. There's a fuck it moment where they're like, all right, fuck it, we'll just figure this out because we're both attracted to each other, obviously. And oh my god, this man is a dirty talker. Oh my god, you guys, like, absolutely, like, I'm telling you, 6 chili peppers. I was unwell. Several cold showers were needed. Alright, I did my face stuff because I only have 1 book left, and it's a little silly goofy novella, like a novella. Like, it is under 50 pages, and it is wacky by Nicole Parker. And this is also a new to me author who I found this year because I love a good sentient object. They're just so silly and goofy and funny, and Nicole Parker does such a good job. And this is a whole series of like the Kyleverse. I may make a whole video about this because the books are so funny. I haven't finished them yet, but this one was just so funny. It's about like one of the inflatable fucking wacky things that like go around at like car sales like dealerships and stuff, and it's just, all of her books are so goddamn funny. And again, like, they're silly goofy, they're sentient object things. Like, the point is they're very unserious, they're funny, like, very good. Like, you need something crazy after reading something really heartfelt or like dark, would definitely recommend reading these. They're silly, goofy, spicy, hilarious. Like, I just genuinely think they're so goddamn funny. Alright, and that was my 5-star reads of the year. Hope you enjoyed this and my little get ready with me. It was a little chaotic. I obviously haven't done one before, so if you like this, cool. I will totally do them again, and we can chit chat about books, and I can put on my freaking makeup. Hopefully I won't have Mount Everest on my face. But yeah, if you enjoyed any of these books, let me know in the comments. If you hated these books, keep that opinion to your fucking self. And if you have any book recs based off of my 5-star reads, also put those in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, follow me on all my other platforms since TikTok is now back. So yeah. So I hope you guys have a good day.